Hello, this is Stephen Fernandez. You are 16CS057. Let's move to the eighth experiment in C++ called inheritance. In inheritance, we'll create different sets of class, and there will be one class, or there may be other classes, which the other classes will inherit the qualities and the elements of the first class, where we call this, where we put a public and the class of the parent class. So the child class will inherit the qualities of the parent class, as well as it can have its own qualities as well. So let's try this program. We'll create a simple program in which we'll make a class called birds, and which other classes like duck, owl, and goose will inherit the qualities of the class called bird, and it will also have its own qualities. And we'll set the different types of number of birds for the, and we'll also give it different type of names. So the program starts by including these header files, and then we'll make a main class called bird, which will be the parent class. Other classes will inherit the qualities of this bird class. So inside bird class, we'll give it a string called name and a string called sound, and we'll print out the values like void print. Like, we'll take the name for the specific bird and what sound does it make, and the sound will be printed by the input table. So the sound will be given by the sound is equal to the different types of birds. So we'll create another class called duck, and we'll inherit the bird class from through it. So we'll have a name, and then we'll take the name input from it using the void get, and the sound of this specific bird duck is quack quack, and we'll display the output. So it will be print the function, and then we'll create another class called goose, which will also inherit the bird class. So inside public, it will get the properties from the bird class, and then it will have its name input, and the sound of the goose, that its own quality it is called is honk. It will display out these qualities. Similar for owl, it will inherit the bird class. It will have its own quality. It will inherit the qualities of the bird elements inside the bird class. It will have its own element also called as sound equals honk, and it will display the output accordingly. Inside the main function, we'll ask the user how many number of birds in each type of bird you want. So like the input will take it as an array, and then inside this for loop, for I is equal to 0, I lesser than max, so it will increment accordingly, and we'll take duck of I and also get this thing incremented and get the functions like the input from the user through the functions. And then similarly for goose, for go of max, we have created the go for that, and like the input of the number of goose and the name for the goose, enter the name for it max, and the number of goose, the name of the goose and the goose. And so this will call out the function and say that the goose does quack quack, and so other things accordingly. And similarly for the owl. So for printing it out, like the output, it will show like for I equals 1, I lesser than max, so this typical for loop, and for the owl as well. And for I is equal to 0, I is equal to max, I increment, it will display the according output, so like the name we have given for it. So it will say the name of the duck, so the name of the duck, it is a duck, and it will display the function of the individual function of the class. So the individual characteristic elements inside the class. So let's try to run the program. So set the number of birds you want. So I'll take 2. Okay, so enter 2 names for the duck. I'll put D1 and D2. Enter the name for goose, G1 and G2. Enter the name for owl, O1 and O2. So it will just show like the name of the one duck is D1 and sound is quack quack. So the bird class has been inherited, and it is also printed the individual class of the duck. Similar for goose, owl shows hoot, quack, and for the second duck, so we have taken like 2 ducks, so it will print it like that. So this shows the program is working. So let's go to the second program, which is called stone paper scissors, in which like if it is stone is greater, it will show out the stone. If there is paper versus stone, it will like they both will fight for that. So like this is a typical stone paper scissors program, and we'll make a algorithm. We'll make a input from the it will be an auto input, will not take an input from the user. So these are predefined inputs will be taken, and it'll start by like including the header files and then making a class called tool, in which inside the public will take the strength. So the strength, like, will give it individual strength for rock, paper and scissor accordingly, and the character will take a character variable called type. So what type is it? Like R for rock, S for scissors and P for paper, and we'll set the strength for individually for them. So strength is equal to K. So K will be the in the strength property. So inside class scissor, which is inheriting from a class called tool, so it will have strength, type and the set amount of strength we have, which we have given. So inside papers we'll have we'll take the input of the scissors, and then strength is equal to X. We'll give a strength, we'll give a specific strength for that, and the type is equal to the type of it. The type of that is S. So S for scissors, and then the boolean fight for fighting amongst them, like stone versus paper, paper versus scissors. So according to that, the strength, it will be multiplied by 2, and the strength of the other one, so the tool into the strength will be divided by 2, and and the value will be returned. So if the tool type is equal to rock, strength divided by 2 and strength into 2, and it will return as false. So it will have two outcomes: either it will win, either it will lose. Also it can be draw. So the another class called paper, similar for that, like paper, and it will take input of X, Y and Z. We have taken inputs. So the strength and type, and when they fight, if the T of type is equal to R, strength will be incremented and it will be true. If T of R is equal to scissors, so it will lose with that. So in similar thing for class rock, it will inherit the properties from tool. So under public rock, int of z strength is equal to will be the strength of it and the type. So inside is also there will be two cases. If it is scissors, if it is rock is fighting against scissors, it will win and it will be returned true. If it is fighting against paper, it will lose. So it will be like decrement and then multiply. It will return false. Inside the main function, we'll make scissors. We'll give it the strength of the scissor, strength of the paper, and strength of the rock, and we'll make them to fight. So it will be like crowd fight for paper and print of the paper. So paper fight and increment the rock fight of the strength of that. Similar for the rock fight with scissors and scissor fight with rock. So let's try to run the program. Yeah, and it gives 10 10 10 output, so which we have given this predefined input. So depending on these inputs, the calculation has been done, and this shows the program is working fine. Thank you.